Okay, so 2025, my heart is just for all of us as solopreneurs to actually hit the goals that we've set. We have to do things differently. We have to take action. And we have to really make sure that we are not choosing to do things that are taking us off of the path and away from the actual goal. I heard something today that really struck with me, and it said, if you don't like to sell, and if you don't know how to sell, you will not have a business. And when I think about all of the members that we have in Hero Academy, and I think about the challenges that people are facing, a lot of times the challenges are around sales.
Mm-hmm.
They're around not going after sales, not understanding how to do the things that will bring in sales. So when I think about 2025 and our members, what everyone's trying to accomplish, the very first strategy that I want everyone to implement is lead generation,
Mm-hmm.
period. That's the first thing. And lead generation is the heart of your business. So, what exactly is lead generation? Because I want to be really specific in terms of how we define it.
Mm-hmm.
Lead generation is generating enough potential clients for your business that as time goes on, you are making consistent sales. And lead generation is a necessity in every single business. If you sell something, you have to have leads, right? So we hear it a lot in different spaces, but I want to make sure that when you think about your specific business, what you do, that you are thinking of people who have not bought from you yet, but who would want to buy from you. Those people are leads. And you have to have a strategy to generate leads in your business. Now, I'm going to share my screen so that we can go through the training for tonight. And what my goal is to do with these office hours is to do 30 minutes of training, and then the last 30 minutes is questions. You have specific questions in your business. You want to know how to do something technical that you think I know how to do, I'll pull up a screen and I'll show you how to do it. But I also want to tie in some really fundamental trainings
Mm-hmm.
because we have to get out of this rut of, we're putting in a lot of time, we're investing a lot of effort, we're doing a lot of different things. But if you are not reaching your sales goal every single month, what's going to change? When is it going to change? How are we going to get there? Right? So we have to go back to the foundations. And the very first thing, as soon as you decide, I have a business, I have something that I can sell, I have something that I want to bring out into the marketplace, your next thought should be, who are my customers? Where are they? How do I get them? And how do I make sure that I'm generating the leads that I need? And I think I shared with some of you guys over the holiday, I had the flu. So please bear with me if you hear me cough or clear my throat, just for the last bit of it. Okay, can you guys see my screen? Just put a one in the chat if you can see my screen. I just want to make sure everyone can see me. You should see a Hero Academy. Yes? Good. Great, great, great. Okay. All right. So, first thing we're talking about, lead generation. Now, I want you to think about it from a very, very practical perspective. I'm sure all of us, it's January 2025, new year. I've got goals for my business. I'm sure all of us have sat down and said, how much do I want to try to make this year, this quarter, this month, right? How many units do I want to sell? How many packages do I want to sell? How much dollar amount do I want to make? If you have done that, and if you have a piece of paper around, this is a great time to just jot it out because I want to explain to you what lead generation looks like from a very practical perspective. So, first, you start with your goal. So, for example, I want to hit $10,000 per month in sales, right?
Mhm.
Now, I know the thing that I sell is $500, right? So my product is $500. I need 20 sales. Okay. I need 20 people to say yes. Now, I look back on the last 3 months. How many people did I reach out to? Let's say in the last 3 months, I reached 100 people and I made 5 sales. How many people do I need to make my 20 sales then? If it took me 100 people to make 5 sales, and you can use this for any type of metric. How many people do you have following you on social media? You put out a post, how many people saw it and how many people purchased from it? You send out an email newsletter. How many people are on your newsletter and how many people clicked the link to buy? If you're making phone calls, how many people did you call and how many people purchased? And you also want to pay attention to the time frame as well. How long did it take for you to make those sales? Now, if you haven't made any sales yet, really quick, there's 3 steps to this, right? The step is your hook, which is how people are getting to you. The next thing is your offer. And the last thing is your price. Your hook, your offer, your price. If people are not buying, there's something wrong there. Your hook, your offer. And actually, we'll say the offer and the price are kind of together, right? Because I'm offering this thing for this amount. So maybe something's wrong with the offer and price. And actually, I'm going to say the other thing that you really want to make sure is your process. So your hook, your offer, and your process are the 3 things that you have to figure out what's going on there if people aren't buying yet. Okay, so your hook means, am I saying the right thing? Am I saying to the marketplace what they need to hear in order to buy? Your offer is, am I offering this too high? Are people not understanding what it is that they're going to get from me? And in the process, am I making it too difficult for people to buy? Am I not following up? Do I have a marketing plan? Do I have a way to re-engage people? Right? Am I tracking and finding ways to bring people back to purchase? Am I giving them enough opportunity to purchase? So once you've identified that, if you haven't made any sales, then this number right here, like how long does it take to reach a certain number of people and make a certain number of sales? You have to keep on going until you get that one so that you can then start to calculate your numbers. So now our next question is, if I reached 100 people and I made 5 sales, that means I need to reach 400 people in order to make my 20 sales. And that's at minimum, period. Lead generation is the science of how do I get in front of 400 people who will want to purchase my product so that I can reach my goal. That's it. That's it and that's all. So we go back to what it is that we're selling, who we're serving, where do these people reside, what are they interested in, what's their pain point, what's the benefit of what I'm offering them, what is this going to do for them? How do I convey that to them? And how do I get in front of as many of those people as possible? And I'm going to give you a tried and true example of how you can change this from 400 to 40 people. Think of what you offer and think of that end person who's going to use your service or your product. Someone in the marketplace already has your audience. So I know there's a lot of virtual assistants in our group. I know there's a lot of digital marketers in our group. When you look at our group, we have a group of 100 plus solopreneurs. If you have a product or a service that caters to them, here is a community that has your target market. So now you just need 40 communities instead of trying to reach 400 people. And then you work on, how do I show up? How do I share the information and present my offer in a way that is going to attract my clientele? This is the basics for lead generation. Everyone should walk out of this call tonight understanding what this is. How many people do you need to be in front of to make your sales? And then it becomes very simple. Did you reach out to 400 people? And if you did, and you didn't hit the 20 sales, then there's probably something wrong with your hook, which is your messaging, what you're saying and how you're saying it, with your offer, or with your process. Offer is very easy to fix. If you know someone else is selling something similar to what you're doing and they're making sales, check the price and check what they're offering. Make sure you're laying it out in a way that makes sense for the people who you're targeting. Your process is simple. How close can I get to a one-click to buy process? That's it, right? I know people who sell only in the DMs. I know people who sell only on the phone, people who sell only by email. Pick one and refine that process as smooth and as easy as possible. And make sure that within that process, you have a follow-up system included. So I like to purchase from our clients that we have in Design Theory and the Hero Academy, specifically around the holidays. And, I'll reach out and then I don't hear back, or I'll hear back and they'll be like, yeah, awesome. And then they never follow up. I have 1,000 things going on. Your potential client has 1,000 things going on. Don't take it personal if they don't respond to you. Follow up, ask again, ask in a different way. Remember, we are carrying the things that people need. And if you're not offering something that people need, then maybe you need to change your product, right? But we're offering things that people need to help their lives be better. There's no reason why we shouldn't be presenting it to people over and over and over and over again. That's sales. And if you're not comfortable with sales, then that's where you need to beef up your expertise. You don't need another course. You don't need to learn how to, you know, make a make viral videos, right? You might just need to believe in your products and get comfortable with your messaging and get comfortable asking for the sale. But first, we start with lead generation because you got to have people to ask, right? So, where do I find these people? That goes into understanding your customer avatar. I'm going to say this. I had probably said it 10 times last year. I'll say it again in 2025. You have to pick one specific person to represent your ideal client. Who is the person that you can help the most with the product or the service that you offer? Who is the person that gets the most and best and highest use of what you have to offer? Who is that one person? Now, I can help anybody. I could do, but if you had to just pick one person, like draw a person in your mind or actually draw a person. What do they look like? What do they wear? How old are they? Are they married? Are they employed? Are they self-employed? Are they unemployed? Do they like fashion? Do they like whatever it is? All the things that you can think about that relate to what you sell, that's what you need to put into your customer avatar. Because what that's going to give you is clarity on where to find your people. So we're going to document our customer demographics so that we can get clarity on where to find our people. Okay, I'm going to take a pause here. I want to make sure you guys are with me. And also, sometimes I know the first time I probably had to hear this 10 times before I really got it. Because there'd be something inside of me that would be like, I mean, but I really could help all different types of people. Like I don't want to exclude anyone, right? Or I would say things like, well, I mean, I didn't have to talk to 400 people and I made 10 sales. So do I have to really talk to so many people? Or maybe I can skip this step. right here. So I want to pause here because I want to hear your questions. I want to hear your gut reactions because your gut reactions are going to point you in the direction of the things that we need to work on in 2025 so that we can get your business to where it needs to go. So any questions you have, this is a safe space, no judgment. I am a skeptic. So I can tell you any question you probably have, I had it 5 years ago. Right? Anything you didn't, really jive with, I probably felt the same way. But I also want you to know that this is it. This is the simplicity of it. Stacy, I see you have your hand up.
So my biggest question regarding the avatar is that it is, for me personally, it's difficult to narrow down the specifics. And I've heard people say you really shouldn't say an age range. You really should pick a specific age, or you really have to have all of the information really finite regarding this person. But what happens, or what I've noticed happens, is that um, all types of people respond.
Yes,
So I may be seeking someone, or really, attempting to get to that avatar, that person, but other people are responding. And like you said, you don't want to exclude them.
right.
So,
And
you
you
know,
won't. You won't. That is such a great point. And actually, what you're doing is you're proving the point, right? So if you and I'm talking to you, right? I'm putting posts out on Facebook, but in my mind, I'm typing directly to Stacy, right? I'm thinking about what Stacy's challenges are, what's going on in her life right now, and I'm putting out content to help you, Stacy. And
mhm,
then Yvonne is also on Facebook reading these posts and she's responding. Why is she responding? One, because you have demonstrated, or me in this example, I have demonstrated that I understand Stacy so well, right? I
mhm,
have demonstrated that I understand my customers so well that Yvonne is like, well, I'm sure she could help me too,
mhm,
right? When you see someone who is zoned in on what their client wants to hear or what they want to see or what they need to experience in order to make the choice to make a purchase, it
mhm,
attracts more people because it's such a strong and clear message.
mhm,
Right. So I might be talking about Zapier. I can help you set up Zaps and automations. I can help you set up automations that are going to do this, that, and the third for you. Somebody is gonna comment and be like, do you also work in MailChimp? Do you also
mhm,
do this?
mhm,
Right? And remember, we're not saying I'm choosing a customer avatar because that's the only person I'm gonna sell to. I'm saying I'm choosing a customer avatar so I could get clarity on where to find them and clarity on what to say. I will help everyone who comes, but my messaging is going to work because I'm being so specific.
okay.
Yeah. Yvonne, I see you have a question.
Yes. Okay, my question is this: in the breakdown that you gave about the price, how do we handle the price when we have multiple pricing? Like I have pricing from 27 to 497, which is $500. But how do we handle how many sales we need when we have a range in our price category?
That's a great question, right? I do the same thing. I mean, I have multiple price ranges and multiple services in different ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I do, for me personally, I do a sales target for each thing that I have,
Okay.
right? So your lower ticket items will probably sell more,
Mm-hmm.
right? But they probably will have less sales. I mean, you're probably going to need to be in front of more people,
Mm-hmm.
right? Usually the lower the ticket price, the more people you need to get in front of. The higher the ticket price, the less people. And
Mm-hmm.
that's also key for those of you who have those ranges. You know, me selling a $1,500 package versus selling these $20 trainings. I mean, I have to get in front of 500 people
Mm-hmm.
to make the same that I would make from selling two packages. So where should I be investing my time?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in the packages, right?
Mm-hmm.
But do it for each one just so you have an idea. And then it's going to give you clarity. Once you see it on paper, you're going to say, let me focus on this 497. And here's what happens. Your 497 is your top tier. It's going to give everybody everything they need, but not
Mm-hmm.
everyone can afford it. But if your messaging is so clear and so spot on for that person who is looking for the 497, if you do your messaging correctly, they're going to be so like salivating to buy from you, but they're like, I can't afford it. Let me go buy the $19 thing. That's how that works. So that's why, like, that clear messaging was like, yes, this is what I need. Oh my gosh, yes, I need this. I need to know how to do this. I need to know how to do that. I want to buy this package. I can't buy it now, but let me do the lower ticket one. And that's why also it's very important, especially service providers. Do not skimp on the quality of your lower ticket options, because some people, and I am some people,
Mm-hmm.
will buy that lower ticket option to see the quality of your work to determine if I'm gonna buy the 497 one.
Mm-hmm.
So
Another,
yeah, go ahead.
sorry, got another question. Sorry.
Yeah.
Um, when you come up with, which I understand the breakdown of getting in front of people, one of my challenges is it costs money to get in front of that many people. What is a cost effective way for those of us who are just starting out and maybe our pockets are not that deep
Yes.
to try to get in front of people?
Yeah. I would say then it's laid out for you. Now you really know. You have to go to your high ticket offering. You
Okay.
have to go to your high ticket offering, and then the more high ticket you are, the more bespoke, the more custom, the more hands-on you have to be, right? So
Mm-hmm.
high ticket, I can't sell high ticket by just putting a post out on Facebook or on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
My high tickets, I gotta be texting with people, checking in. How are you doing? Let me figure out what is it that you need specifically. Maybe I can help you. Is this gonna be a good fit? Right? And high ticket
Mm-hmm.
might take a little longer, depending on how well my content is and my areas and ways to
Mm-hmm.
connect with people. But I would say that spells it out for you right there. If and I think I shared this in the last class I did at the NEC, right? If
Mm-hmm.
your purchase price is less than $100 and you're trying to reach 10,000 a month, you're going to have to spend money on ads. And so if you don't have the ad budget, then you have to sell your high ticket to get the money that you need for ad budget.
But even at the high ticket, like, because correct, I mean, like the post that you have, okay, it's $500 and you need 20 sales. So I mean, you need to get in front of 400 people to get 20 sales.
Mm-hmm.
Even at the high ticket price, what is a cost effective way to get in front of 400 people? Like, I don't know about anybody else, but that's one of the challenges that I face, because it's like, you're trying to do so much in your business, and the reality is whatever you do costs money.
Yes. Or
And
time.
or time, correct.
Or
And when you're
time.
a
Yeah.
solopreneur, it's only so much you can do in either category unless you have an unlimited budget. I mean, there's only so much time and or money that you can put into it. So that's
Yeah.
one of the things that I would love to kind of figure out how to do.
Yeah.
Is I'm okay with spending money. I don't have a problem with spending money, but I just want the money that I spend to be well spent and be used for what,
Be worth it.
get back what I want.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
So it's like, what is like some of the best ways to get in front of that many people?
Okay.
I mean,
So
is it always running ads? I'm
no,
not sure.
no,
Okay.
it's definitely not. Nope. So here's some lead generation ideas. We'll start with for service providers, right? So people
Mm-hmm.
who, I mean, I'm sorry, for digital products, people who have digital products, and maybe your top tier product is something that's like a coaching or a hands-on or a one-on-one or things like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So free challenges, these are great. When you do, these are like 2 to 3 day challenges where you advertise just on social media, not running ads, but just posting, hey, I'm going to be doing this challenge for something that's specific to your target audience. So for
Okay.
example, a couple of years ago, we did a 3 day challenge it was like a 3 day boot camp for your business, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's free. I spent an hour each day at lunchtime. right? Just kind of one, giving social proof of who I was, what I have done, what I've accomplished, how I've helped people in the past, give a little bit of training, maybe give people the option to do VIP, which was
Mm-hmm.
also free, right? But what that would allow me to do would be to see the people who are really serious. Like, hey guys, I'll be on tonight at 7 if you want to do VIP. If you want VIP, you need to send me a DM, right? And say you want to do VIP. But
Okay.
all of the people that are on at lunchtime, maybe I had 150 people on at lunch, maybe 7 people will come for VIP, right? So then you knock it out of the park for VIP. You give them like a really big aha moment or something that's, really going to make a change, get them, riled up. And then you do day 2 and day 3. Day 2 is even a little less training, a little more about you and what you're offering. And day 3 is the sale, right? Like, hey, if you love this 3-day challenge that I just did, I want to take you even further and show you these different things. And now you're listing all of the things that are coming in your top tier, high tier package. You offer a discount for that package. Everyone who's gone through the challenge, you reach out to them individually, but your VIP people, those are the people that you're really just connecting with. So then out of the 7, we had 5 people that signed up for a $3,000 package,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's one idea for how you could do lead generation when you're trying to, like, I'm trying to do something, but I don't have all this money. It's the time, right? So now it's the time of creating the slides and doing all the advertisements. I would go live for like 5 minutes and be like, we're doing a 3-day challenge. It's so exciting. Here's what you're going to learn, right? So that's one way that you can do it. Um, Another lead generation idea is, I say this all the time. I tell you guys, I made over $160,000 in Facebook groups. Now this is a long tail. These aren't like right away. It's time, right? But being in these Facebook groups, giving value and showing up, but also making sure that you are clear about what you offer. The one thing that I will tell you all of you, everyone, when you guys come into Hero Academy and we ask you what you do, it is some of the most vague descriptions. Like, if your person is in here, are you really saying what you need to say so that they know exactly what you offer? If you offer life insurance, say, I offer life insurance. And yes, there's stigmas behind it, but the person who has a stigma about life insurance is not going to buy from you because you said financial services. They still have the stigma, but the person who actually needs life insurance is going to buy from you. Does that make sense? So I highly recommend using Facebook groups, school groups, any place where there's a group of people. Show up, be involved, but then make sure people know what you offer and what you do. Absolutely makes sense. Yeah. So
And
Facebook, yeah, go ahead.
I'm so sorry. Anybody else got
No.
a question? I'll let them go because I'm just hogging all the questions.
No problem. Yes, and if anyone has a question, raise your hand and I'll get to it. But
Okay.
if not, go ahead, Yvonne. I don't
Okay.
see any hands
Um.
up.
I have a quick question. If we could stay in
Okay.
groups for 1 second.
Yes.
There are a gazillion Facebook groups, and once you join one or two, oh my goodness, you just keep getting the invites. What types of groups are you referring to? Are you referring to the engagement groups and the hey, follow me groups, that kind of stuff? What types of groups?
I actually have a training on how to use Facebook groups. So I created this training. It's for real estate professionals, but it talks about how to choose Facebook groups, like literally where to go and how to identify which groups to go into. It talks about what to say and what to do. I wrote it, this training, I did it for real estate agents, but it's absolutely transferable, right? I tell people things like, do not drop your business card in a group. It doesn't help anyone. I have never in my life or took my phone and then got out a piece of paper and a pen to write down the phone number off of someone's business card, right? Like you have to have something that people can copy and paste, that they can click, that they can go to give them the information that they need. When you're talking about how to choose groups, I show you how to go into the group's profile and you can see how many posts do they have and how many posts did they have recently and how active are they. Don't join the group, just preview the group for a little while and then see, is it just the owner of the group posting, 5 things with no comments and no engagement? Sometimes those groups are actually a little bit of an opportunity when you first jump in if you say something that's really of value, but most of the time it's not. Um, I also talk about, so in the training, we use the concept of, and this is for any community you join, consider it like a party. This is for your social media platforms. This is for any groups that you're in. You are showing up at a party. When you get to the party, people are going to look you up and down. What does your profile look like? Right? When you're in a group and someone drops some information that is interesting to you, controversial, helpful, whatever, I know the first thing that I do is I click to look at their profile to see, is this person legit? Do they know what they're talking about? Or are they full of it? What does your profile look like when someone signs up? So what I'm gonna have you guys do, because this is a paid course, I'm gonna send it to the people who are on this call. So if you want this training, just put your email address in the chat, and then I'll be able to just copy and add you to the class to the course. But it is very, I cannot stress enough how much money is made in Facebook groups from all types of industries. Billions of dollars in Facebook groups. Got it. Ivana, I got yours. Okay. So I'll do that. Let me put myself a note. Facebook group training. And I would love you all's feedback because I don't know if I know some of you guys are realtors, but if you're not, from a non-realtor perspective, I'll redo this training for the rest of the members in our group if you guys find that it's helpful. I I mean, all the realtors that I've given it to, that I presented it for, they've said it's been amazing. But there's
I
certain rules: what you bring to the group, how you show up, what group do you go to, what kind of groups should you choose. Depends on what you do, what you're trying to do. Yeah.
Okay. I definitely think it's worth taking a look at. I got into this space probably in, it's probably been 3 months now. I mean, well, September. I think I
Mm-hmm.
got into it in September. We originally started in trading and crypto, and we, got, scammed for 20K. So I said, you know what? Let me figure this out. And so I kind of shifted to social media. And one of the things I've heard from the beginning is join groups, but no one is giving you which
Oh,
types of groups, but everyone is saying you need to join groups. There's money in groups, join groups.
got
And I
it.
haven't found any. So I must
Yeah.
be in the wrong ones.
Yes, yes. I give you the 5 types. So some of them are like local. One is something that you actually like, right? So something that's personal to you. Then you want to do like at least 1 or 2 industry groups, and then exactly, I break it down. I mean, I feel like it's a really comprehensive training on how to make money in Facebook groups, and even like for each of us, we should have our signature offerings. Just these are the things that I offer, right? And then we should have and this is going to go on our lead generation idea. We should have the lead magnet, the thing that is of value that people want. So for me as a realtor, I was using this down payment assistance tool where it would, I just tell people, oh, you know what? Even if you don't want to work with me as a realtor, you can go to this site and it'll tell you every single down payment assistance program that you'd be eligible for. Everybody wants it, right? But it's a lead generation tool because when they sign up, I get their information. So lead magnets are the next thing that is an important um, piece in lead generation. What is something that is super valuable, and beneficial that will help the people that you want to work with. This customer avatar. What's something that they need? Is it a calculator? Is it oh, quizzes is another. I'm going to put this on here. Quizzes, they are amazing. Oop, I think I just deleted something. What is the thing that you what have you given up your information for? The last thing you signed up for that was free, right? A report, a template, a checklist, right? Those are all lead magnets. Or maybe you took a quiz because you wanted to find the answer to this burning question that you had. So those would be the lead generation ideas that I would do as a service provider. Um, lead generation for physical products. Like I sell something that is physical, free shipping, contests. Oh, contests are a big one. You can use anybody can use contests, right? I have this thing that I'm gonna give away, and I'll give it away if you do this, this, and that, right? And all of that, those people who are doing the adding of the people, that's the work of us manually going in and following up with each one of those people. Hey, I saw you were tagged in my contest. So excited. I hope you win. Just want to tell you a little bit about what I do. Yeah. Free shipping for physical. So physical free shipping, discounts for text message for your phone number. I should say phone numbers. This is a big one. So everything that is done on a large scale by major brands, we can bring it down to a small business perspective. When you go to major brands, they say get 15% off if you sign up for our email list. You got to have an email list in order to, you know, do that, but it works, right? So you might say, get 15% off if you sign up for my email list, or get 15% off if you DM me the word coupon, right? So then they DM the word coupon, and this is free. You can go in and respond back to them and say, thanks for signing up. Uh, please give me your email address or text phone number so I can text you the coupon code. That's the manual way to do it. And then once you have money to invest in your process, you can do something that's a little more automated. What are some other lead generation ideas? I mean, there's really a lot. Um, but I want to really give some answers for people who have physical. Do we have anyone with physical products on?
Me, and that information you just shared was really, really helpful.
Awesome, awesome. Oh, buy one, get one, or buy one, get free. That's another one. Giveaways, I'll say contests and giveaways. You have, product that you want to get rid of, that you have a lot of, or where the profit margin is super high on this product. That's another thing. Sometimes we use products that aren't selling well as our giveaway, and it's not enough
Giveaway. Okay.
incentive. Yeah, it's
Okay.
not enough incentive for someone to participate in. But if you have a product that has a really high profit margin for you, and if you've been in these trainings with me, you know I don't like any profit margin under 35%. And it's very important, especially for my physical product owners. Every single one of my physical product clients, they lose their breath when I take them through the step-by-step process of actually calculating what it costs to make your good. You should know the cost of your goods, and it should include labor. And then a lot of them realize they're not making money. Even if they were to sell at the price that they want to sell it at, they're not making money. But if you have a product that has a high profit margin, maybe it's 50% or more, meaning that when you sell it, you're keeping at least 50% of the profit. If you don't have money to invest in ads, consider your product an investment. Choose that bestseller, that really good thing, and invest it into a good giveaway. That is huge. This is something that can be used by physical product owners, but also by our service providers. Give a scholarship in those free challenges that we would do, those 2 to 3 day challenges. We would also offer a scholarship, right? Because some people are like, I can't afford $3,000. Oh, well, if you do all of this, I might let you come for free. Or I would DM someone and let them into the class if they would allow me to record my coaching session with them, if they would record a testimonial. Um,
I have a question.
yes, please.
Um, I know you talk a lot about lead generating, and you even said like with the hook,
Yes.
um,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
the offer, the price of the process.
Look,
For those of us who are not creative with words, how do
yeah,
we get creative with words in creating the hook, which is what's going to draw the people first? Like, how do we master that skill?
yeah. I'll tell you, I'm going to tell you the truth. There's no gatekeeping here. Sometimes if I get stuck on, am I saying the right things? I will go to not necessarily a competitor, but I will go to someone who is much further ahead of me in the game,
Mm-hmm,
right? They're at 100K a month, right?
mm-hmm,
And I will take exactly what they wrote and I will
mm-hmm,
put it into ChatGPT and say, I sell XYZ, rewrite this using my products or using my services. Because you're right. Sometimes we just don't know what to say,
mm-hmm,
right? But if you have come across copywriting that has worked because it got you, I do it all the time. Like while I'm signing up something, I'm taking screenshots because I'm like, I love the way they put this together. This makes so much sense. Like it's really speaking to me. So how do I take that so that I can use it to speak to the people that I'm supposed to be speaking to?
mm-hmm,
So that's definitely one way to do it very easily. Whatever worked for you, especially for our service providers. A lot of times, as service providers, we're providing a service for something that we do, that we know, or that we needed at one point, and now we figured out how to do it, and we're offering it to others.
mm-hmm.
So if it got you to buy, then it's going to get someone else to buy for your product.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions before I get to the second thing of tonight, which we only have 10 minutes left, but this second one is very straightforward. I'm going to put it in big words. It's not going to like me. That's it. That's it. I coach so many entrepreneurs, and when we get started, they have 15, 20 different things going on that they're trying to do, that they want to do in their business, that they're blah, blah, blah. Like it's just all over the place. When I say 2 to 3 things each month, I mean just 2 to 3 things that you're going to do and do it well. If you're a physical product owner and you're going out to an event, farmer's market, or you're going out to do, or you're a speaker and you're doing a presentation, that's one thing. You only got space for 2 more things that you're doing that's not part of your regular process of your business. That's it. Because what ends up happening is we take on so much and we don't do it well. We're not consistent, right? If you're trying to grow on social media, if you say, okay, I'm going to do a lead magnet and I'm going to reach out to the 400 people, that's it. If it's not one of those things, don't do it. Put it on a back burner for next month. Keep allowing things to distract us. And those distractions are really just manifestations of fear. That's all it is. When you have so many different goals and objectives, all it is fear. The fear that the thing that I say I want to do is not going to be enough to sustain me or to get the result that I need. When in reality, laser focus and energy on one thing produces the best results. So the two strategies that I want you to focus on this year are lead generation and then simplifying what you're doing. That's it. That's it. We still have 8 minutes for questions.
I have a
Uh,
quick question.
yes.
When you said pick 2 or 3 things a month and do it, I know that's a struggle I have with like staying focused, but how do you determine what is the most important thing to do?
Right here. When you figure out what your goal is, how much do I need to make each month? How many sales do I need? And how many people do I need to be in front of in order to make X amount of sales? And so the 2 or 3 things, it has to align with getting in front of that number of people. It has to align with it. And back to, and I don't know if you were on when Yvonne asked the question. She was talking about, she has different levels of packages. She had low ticket offers and she has a high ticket offer, right? So, her lowest package might be $19 and the high ticket might be $497. And then we're saying, I'm trying to get to 10,000 a month. Maybe I need to focus on the 497, right? So then if I'm thinking about doing a 2 or 3 thing each month that's going to be catered to the low tickets, that shouldn't be on the list. What is the high ticket activity that's going to get me in front of the people that I need to make those sales? Yvonne, you have a question.
I do. How do we, if we are new to this and we're kind of getting things figured out, because that's number 3 on your list, processes.
Mm-hmm.
How do we know what processes? How do we know how to set up the processes? What if we have processes and we're not sure if it's the right process? I mean,
Yeah, yeah. So when I say process here, I'm talking about how a person buys from you. It's like
okay.
their actual physical act of purchasing from you,
Hmm.
right? So if anyone is on here and we're still doing like we don't have a landing page that has here's how to buy so that a
Hmm.
person can buy without talking to me,
Hmm.
that's priority number 1. You have
Okay.
to. We talk about we want to make money in our sleep, but if people have to
Hmm.
DM you and they don't have a way to buy while you're sleeping, maybe you're
Hmm.
not, set up the right way. So that's the first level of the process is how people purchase from me. Have I made that as simple and as easy as possible?
Hmm.
Right? The second part of that is what process do I have for following up with them? Which means the person has expressed interest. And interest is a like on a post because we are salespeople. So you express interest. So let me
Hmm.
follow up with you. Right. So do we
Hmm.
have a process in place, which means not just a system, but are we saying every time someone does this, I'm going to do this?
Okay.
That's the process. So that's the follow-up piece of the process.
Hmm.
Then, as we get those things going, the most important thing is, do we have a way for people to buy, and do we have a way for us to keep up with potential buyers? The next step of the process is what happens after someone buys. Do I have a process to reward them for purchasing? Do I have a process to get feedback from them? Do I have a process to market that they bought from me? Right? Do I
Mhm.
have a process to create community with the people who purchase from me, to create a sense of belonging, to create a sense of, they're part of my fan club or part of my group? That's the next part of the process. But first is, how do people purchase?
Mhm.
And that's a lot of feedback too. I mean, one, you should test your own process, right? Like, how can
Yeah.
you buy from yourself? Make sure it works. Make sure it works
Mhm.
on desktop. Make sure it works on mobile. I know so many people, we're a web design company, so we do a lot of websites. And so many of our clients are so used to looking at their websites on their computers. And we're trying to get people to understand
Yeah.
80% of people are making
The
these
phone.
purchases on phones.
Mhm.
Right. So does it work well on your phone? How many pages do I have to go through before I can buy?
Mhm.
Right. That's the process. That's a good question.
Mm.
And
Okay.
Andrea, did I answer your question about being able to pick the 2 to 3 things each month?
Yes.
Okay. So sometimes we'll get caught in the weeds, right? We'll get
Mhm.
caught in the weeds of this process, or get caught in the weeds of, did I say it the right way? Or is my uh, graphics the right thing, or whatever? And we forget about this. This is the real thing. I see people with some of the most beautiful, you know, uh, graphics and, uh, images and videos, but are we getting in front of the people? Are we making connections? Are we offering our product for sale to 400 people? And it's not just the post. A post does not count. Just so you guys know, when I say 400 people, that does not count. You put a post out there and you got 400 likes, that you go back through each of those likes and offer your product for sale, then yes, that counts. Does that make sense?
It does. That follow up, yes. I have to do better because I do not.
The money is in a follow up.
That's where I lack, is
Me
the
too.
follow.
Me too.
Yeah, yeah. That's where the money is. The money is in the follow up. The posts are great. And the posts are the things that, may for a lot of people cause the most anxiety for us, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
putting it out there, right? But the follow up is where it is. The follow up is where it is. That's why you see people who say, I have one coach, the first week of January, I don't want to exaggerate, you guys. The first week of January, I think she said she sold like $68,000. When I tell you, she hardly posts. But she's like, I'm in my DMs. I'm working in my DMs. I'm making these connections with people. And that's her strategy. Some people make the money in email marketing, right? So they're sending out the emails, but then they're going back and looking at their emails and saying, who clicked on this email? Let me reach out to that person individually. That's where it is. The money is in the follow up. Okay, so I have everyone's email addresses here to send you guys access to it's called Facebook Groups for Real Estate Professionals. You'll get an invitation to join the course. So I will make sure I send that out to you. And then I will put this in our group. And when the video is ready, I'll load that in the group as well. So you guys know I'm available. Send me DMs in Skool. I'm there. And then I will see you guys on the 23rd of January.
All right. Thank you.
Alrighty. Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you
Thank
guys.
you.
You're so
This is
welcome.
helpful.
Good. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. Have a good night.
Thanks, you
Bye-bye.
too.
Thank you.